Welcome! In today's video, I'll take you on a journey through the night when Oleksandr Usyk nearly lost it all. Is there really a fighter with the strength to bring Oleksandr to his breaking point? Stay tuned until the end to find out. But I warn you, the images you're about to see are not for the faint of heart. Content Oleksandr Usyk is rightly regarded as one of the best fighters of our time. This master of the ring, thanks to his astounding skills, is known for dismantling his opponents, leaving them with no chance of victory. Still, like all the greats, the Ukrainian has one fight on his professional record where a fearless adversary pushed him to the brink of defeat. This fight forced Usyk to dig deep and find the strength to avoid losing the match. It was the legendary bout between Oleksandr and the Latvian fighter Maris Briedis. The fight on January 27, 2018, Oleksandr stepped into the ring at Arena Riga in Riga, Latvia, to face his destiny in what would prove to be one of the toughest fights of his career against Maris Briedis. It was the semi-final of the World Boxing Super Series tournament where all champions of the division faced off and the winner would take all the belts. Oleksandr was there to defend his WBO Cruiserweight World title for the fourth time, but Briedis wasn't just a challenger. In fact, he was a champion himself. That day, the Latvian was defending his WBC Cruiserweight World title for the second time. One might assume that the tournament final would be the toughest test for the fighters, but for Usyk, the most bitter struggle came in the semi-final against Briedis. That night, Briedis nearly left the entire boxing world in shock. It was a scheduled 12-round battle, where Robert Tapper, Craig Metcalf, and Robin Taylor would decide the victor if the fighter's strength didn't claim victory by the end. With Kenny Bayless as the third man in the ring, this clash of true titans began. Round 1, Oleksandr started the fight with great momentum, pushing toward victory. Skipping the typical reconnaissance round, he forced Briedis to raise his guard to avoid getting hurt. But it was only a matter of time before Briedis began to counterattack, partially stalling the offensive that the Ukrainian was just starting.
Round against Marco Hook. The rapid right jab that he's rifling out. Such an adept combination puncher. Again, straight between the high-held hands and a hard left hand full mover with his feet and from the waist. But he's being tagged.
Round 2, Usyk began the second round driven out of the center of the ring, which started to be dominated by Briedis' movements. Pushing him to the ropes more than once, Briedis took on the role of aggressor, landing powerful body shots. The fighters exchanged hooks and jabs, but at times it seemed Usyk was fighting just to survive.
Actually stepping on the left leg, on the left foot of Usyk. Usyk had just taken a stiff right hand, and there's a mark. Feet coming together, as is often the case between southpaw and orthodox fighters. Briedis, right hand over the top from Briedis, and Usyk's tucking up, just alive, hoping that this an inspired performance against a man who has far more experience than him. The beautiful nature of a Latvian winter to set up camp in Benidorm in Spain. Usyk in his hometown of Kiev, but was away from his family in camp. Good right hook on the retreat from Usyk. Now onto the front foot behind the southpaw right of his own. Give and take because both men are working on their defense as well, but an uppercut success on the inside from...
Round 3. At the start of the third round, Usyk tried to claim the center of the ring, but he found himself up against a very tough wall. Briedis' right hand was strong and deadly. Eventually, Briedis' firm stance forced Usyk back against the ropes.
Fourth judge in this particular contest is Daniel van der Velde of Belgium, as Usyk to finish strong as Briedis lands with a good right hand to the body. Oh, good right hand over the top from Briedis. Usyk finished strong as Usyk scores with a terrific, straight, jolting right jab, feeling that they have the fight won.
In the last minute, Oleksandr seemed to return the favor, but he couldn't end the round as the clear aggressor.
A skillful operator, and he has used skill to box his way to clear victories. Side. This is absolutely terrific stuff. And given that it is being contested, play a role in this. Who will have the career this, but then a jolting southpaw left from Usyk, and then...
Round 4, Briedis opened the fourth round with power punches, quickly driving Usyk against the ropes, where he punished him with brutal shots to the liver area. If it weren't for hooking his left arm on the top rope, the Ukrainian might have fallen straight to the canvas.
Grabs the most significant cruiserweight bout since David Haye and Enzo Macronelli came together, and Usyk...
Back at the center of the ring, Usyk tried to redeem the weak image he had just projected. But even during exchanges, hurting Briedis was proving more difficult than usual.
Time to accommodate worldwide United States of America This one is being the interest in this cruiserweight unification bid. But now plants his feet and tries to force Briedis back. But Briedis proving impossible.
Round 5. Briedis repeated his feat, pinning Usyk against the ropes in under a minute. But, working behind his left jab, the Ukrainian escaped a potentially tragic outcome.
Defeated cruiserweight prospects Mikel Lawal in just a couple of weeks, and this is a strong Porsche beaten cruiserweight boxer of the round for Myris Briedis. Usyk spending an awful lot of time covering up, trying to repel these.
Just over a minute later, it was Briedis who seemed to be cornered.
And picking his punches very well. Briedis with blood smear out. Usyk working behind a left jab, getting onto a right jab, getting onto the front.
When the fight returned to the center of the ring, both fighters exchanged powerful body shots.
Khabib gets through with a good straight right jab once again, which drives Briedis backwards. Has been made to be uncomfortable. And Usyk is increasing the tempo. Still with a minute to survive. Not survive, but to make it tended to. He's coming back.
Usyk closed the round with a combination ending in a menacing left jab and a right hook. But the question lingered. Would it be enough for him to recover?
F drives him backwards once again. He's trying to fight back, but there's end. Briedis being driven continually his 5th round. He spits a fleck of blood and his head is buffeted by...
Round 6, Usyk decided to increase the intensity of his offense at the start of the 6th round. Empowered, he now had Briedis fighting with his back near the ropes.
Looking to build on the momentum that he established for this unification bout.
Approaching the final minute, Briedis seemed to put a chokehold on Usyk's neck and threw him to the canvas.
Compared to the 5th, Usyk still having success driving Briedis backwards. And
Bayless, following closely, didn't count it as a knockdown. Resuming the fight, Briedis tried to stall Usyk's offense with left and right hooks, but ended up with his back against the ropes.
Good left hook at mid-range from Usyk to lose his balance. Partially blocked by the glove, but those two words, a left jab from Briedis as he's on the retreat. Left-handed.
Round 7. In the center of the ring, Usyk and Briedis exchanged blows during the first minute. After this time, Usyk seemed to dominate, cornering Briedis, though Briedis slipped away to the side. The body shots continued, with the Ukrainian encroaching on Briedis' personal space. With just 30 seconds left, a deadly left hand from Usyk sent Briedis crashing into the ropes.
Usyk willingly conceding that this is the biggest fight of his career. He drives Briedis backwards. Briedis becoming a little bit disorganized. He lands with a good left hand, which...
Still, the round ended in the center of the ring. Round 8, Usyk appeared in better spirits, moving further away from the near defeat he had brushed up against with that close knockdown. Still, Briedis was a tough wall to break through. Standing firm on his feet, the only reaction Usyk's fierce offense seemed to elicit was a few steps back from Briedis. Round 9, Usyk worked to corner Briedis during the first minute of the round, but Briedis' strong right hand helped him escape danger. With lateral movements, Briedis sought his own way out, while the Ukrainian advanced with determination. Just as it seemed Usyk was gaining ground, a hard right uppercut, thrown in the middle of a combination, reminded him he was up against true boxing skill. With this bitter taste, Usyk returned to his corner to rethink his strategy.
Usyk said that he was aware of the responsibilities he scores with a right. Said that he was aware of the responsibility that comes with being such a standard bearer for defense of their opponent. Right uppercut off the Briedis, but Usyk proving impossible to discourage, continuing to work his way forwards. Success. Both boxers finding a home for their punches. The nose of cracking right uppercut from through the roof here at the Riga Arena. But Usyk impossible to discourage.
Round 10. It seemed Usyk had a plan. Use his right hand to position Briedis against the ropes and his left to punish him. But Briedis' guard held firm. Occasionally, Briedis countered with powerful shots that reduced the likelihood of a favorable outcome for Usyk on the judges' scorecards. With only minutes left and the outcome inevitable, both fighters had to bring out their heavy artillery.
Front foot to walk his man down once again. Now Briedis trying to come. The role that he took part in with terrific colleagues in the Latvian police force. Just beginning to get a swelling beneath his left eye. He scores with a left hand just.
Round 11. The judge's decision was just around the corner and Usyk showed impatience for victory. Pressing Briedis to the edge of the ropes, he aimed to make it clear that he was the aggressor in this battle. His only obstacle? The other world champion in the ring. While Briedis no longer dominated the fight's rhythm, exchanges between the two remained the highlight of the match. The image each projected in the next 3 minutes would be decisive.
Fighters' records, but somebody will progress tonight because of the aforementioned. Will go through to the final. Became widely recognized to recognize the cruiserweight division. But at the conclusion of this
Round 12. As soon as he could, Usyk pushed Briedis back to the ropes. Briedis attempted to make his case for victory with body shots, but the Ukrainian controlled him and drove him back with counterattacks.
The 11 completed rounds so far. Both men again were up. They've contested the 12th rounder. Each man has gone the 12-round distance on 2 occasions. And look, in this final round, gets through that juncture tonight as Usyk.
During the second minute of the round, Usyk's offense allowed him to set the pace of the fight. But as the final minute began, Briedis' right hand gave him another harsh dose of reality. Now, things didn't look good for Usyk. Not only was he driven back against the ropes, but he began to take severe punishment there.
Right hand from Briedis, and another shot from the right flank once again. Usyk just backs up.
He shielded his face to lower the risk of a knockout, but Briedis targeted his body. Unexpectedly, the fight moved back to the center of the ring, where exchanges resumed in full force. Even so, the imminent danger Usyk had barely escaped could have cost him the victory.
And will, fully on display here between these two athletes with perfect records and shooting right up until the final bell. What a fantastic contest!
Judge's decision. When the ring announcer took center stage, there was nothing left to do. Both Usyk and Briedis had given it their all in a relentless battle, with the result a direct consequence of their actions. Finally, David Diamante announced a split decision that sent chills through everyone in Arena Riga. Robert Tapper had scored 113 to 115, while Craig Metcalf found neither fighter superior, marking 114 for each. Now it was up to Robin Taylor to determine the winner. And with a score of 113 to 115, Oleksandr Usyk could finally take a deep breath. Diamante announced his name as the victor of what had been the toughest battle of his professional career up to that point. Closing. If you made it this far, thank you. Remember, the best way to support my content is by liking the video. Do you think Briedis had a real chance to beat Usyk? Are you satisfied with the judge's decision in this fight? I'll be reading your comments.